Namaskar, I am Ashok Vyas, and today it is a very special interaction that we will be having in this program with those who have aligned their way of living with the teachings that comes all the way from, if I say, Himalayas. The Guru Shishya Parampara is an integral part of the way we have this uplifting consciousness flowing from generation to generation, and how sages, when they come from India in this day and age, also influences and touches hearts of those who come in their contact, is what we will be experiencing with the help of my panelists, who are also excited and enthusiastic about sharing that wealth of wisdom which walks in personified form with Brahmarsi Gurvanandaji Maharaj. There will be two important events. We will learn more about that. Let me have the pleasure of welcoming first Dr. Chandra Bhansali to us.
Namaskar.
Namaskar. And Doctor word always tells us, takes us towards medical science, but you did your PhD, right?
I did my PhD in plasma engineering.
Plasma engineering, and then you moved to accounting.
That's right.
The technology.
Technology. So that technology and then inner engineering, or the spiritual technology, if I say that, has become his main focus or an important focus. From technology to real estate, and of course with the base of spirituality, and with keen interest in yoga. Rakesh Bhargava. The smile of Rakesh ji brings a sense of brightness, and that brightness, when you translate it in Hindi, becomes very close to the word Ujwala, and Dr. Ujwala Shah ji is also with us. Namaste.
Namaste.
She helps people in getting to that state where they feel good about their body, but in order to feel overall good about herself as well as others, she is drawn towards the teachings of Brahmarsi. So let's begin in the traditional pattern, ladies first.
Ladies
first. Tell me about your first impressions of Gurvanandaji Maharaj, and now you have been associated with him for a couple of years. So what is the difference that you have felt in the way you relate to yourself?
Well, eventually, over the last 8 years since I've been connected to Brahmarsi Gurvanandaji, I think my life has transformed in a better way, definitely. I've become more peaceful and become more aware of my own self-consciousness. And the teachings that Gurvanandaji has given us over the years, we've actually instilled those teachings into our daily practices, because whatever he has taught basically is very applicable to your daily, day-to-day living. And that allows us to live a very peaceful life. And basically what has happened over the years is that many times he repeats certain things, and repeating those teachings of Guruji has reinforced into our life in such a way that you anytime you turn anywhere, or you think you're going to do something right or wrong, those teachings come in front of you, and eventually you become awareness of the surroundings and you act appropriately.
So those teachings that she's referring to, probably will get a taste or a glimpse of that during this conversation. And Chandraji, when people hear about events where Swamiji is coming and addressing from the stage, there is of course a sense of distance, and then if you are meeting collectively to someone, there is an element of glamour also. So glamour somehow people feel takes you away from the silence of spiritual feel. So tell me a little bit about, you have been, you have experienced that presence in with many people as well as one-on-one. So what difference would you say?
Actually, when it is together, when you are together, then there is a spiritual energy that flows, that is going to be for a different kind of a cause, which is to provide peace and tranquility into everybody who is present. When Gurudev is in one-on-one presentation, then it is more geared towards who I am and how I am going to benefit from his energy. And then it becomes also dialogue about how he is going to guide me into my future path. So, but actually, honestly, in most cases, we believe even a group gathering, it could be very effective, and it is very, when Gurudev feels that there is a need for somebody to have one-on-one dialogue, then he will guide, direct you to that. But otherwise, even in group setting, if you come there and you will see that just getting his hug, getting his blessing, itself brings a kind of energy that otherwise you just will not experience. So Gurudev decides that when it is right time for somebody to have one-on-one dialogue, and in any case, he will give the right kind of energy and direction that individual who is present even in a big mass will start to feel that kind of energy.
You know, Gurudev decides when he says, I was just reminded that the place where I'm seated right now, once upon a time he came here and we were interacting here the way we are interacting now. But the essence and the core of focus remains the same. And Rakeshji, let's look at modern mind. All of us have our own set of egos and we feel that we figured it out. And you have been a successful entrepreneur yourself. When you came into contact with Brahmarsi Gurvanandaji Maharaj, how that transition where we say that you hold back because you call it ego, or you just call it your understanding of yourself, let's leave aside the part ego. If you can say something about that transition where you first were reluctant and then there was no holding back.
Yeah. I have a very interesting story, and I'm sitting with two PhDs. So obviously, when you talk about mind, I mean, these are brilliant people in their own field, experts, and they have become the followers or disciples of Gurudev. First time I met with Gurudev with Ujwala Ji at Dr. Bhansali's house. And it just so happened that I sat right next at his lotus feet. And you know, you as a business owner, as a family man, you want to ask for health and well-being of your children, your family, you want money, you want the success in business. And when Guruji says, you know, close your eyes, do a prayer and wish for something. My wish was that, and this is something, I have no idea how that happened, my wish was that, may I remember you in my thoughts all the time. And that wish has come true right away. Now, even though I'm not PhD, I have a very curious, intellectual, unbelieving type of a mind. And I've been working with Guruji's organization for 8 years now. And Guruji publicly says, Bhargava ji is a man with intelligence. He has a lot of questions. His wife is a man with faith. She has all the answers. But I still don't listen. So the point is that our habits take a long time to change. And in fact, there are books that are written about the past life regression, and if you look at those books, some souls have come to this earth 800 human years to transform themselves to learn one thing. I'm only talking 8 years. So it takes a long time to come out of your shell and you will pass karmas and be transformed. So the only thing I can say is that a journey has begun with the first right step, and I'm hoping, and Guruji always says that he'll bless us with the rest of the journey. So I'm very fortunate that he is in my life.
So he is fortunate that he, meaning Guru Anandji Maharaj, is in his life. And we always hear that Guru is not confined to any human form. So that is why remembrance or keeping thoughts of Guruji helps Rakeshji. But let's learn a little bit more about it, because I have also witnessed the way his influence have grown across the globe, and especially in New York. First visit to this visit, there is tremendous difference. And now the way his programs are organized, where you are asked to register online, this is a totally different way of reaching out to potentially new people or devotees. So Ujwala ji, tell me about your personal experience of having witnessed him at different places. Maybe you went to his ashram in India as well?
Yes, I did. I sure did. I went to his ashram in October of 2015 during Navratri. Had no plans, had absolutely no plans of going. Guruji came here in September of that year at one of the events that was held in September. And few days after that, I found out that Guruji is giving Diksha. So basically you become his follower and he protects you. So I went to Guruji and I said, Guruji, I want Diksha. And Guruji said, come to the ashram. As a working woman, obviously, to take time off all of a sudden in September for October to go to India was something that is not possible. But obviously, Guruji made it possible. I went to work the next day. I asked my boss, I said, I need 3 weeks off. She goes, 3 weeks? I said, yes. And I said, I'm going on a spiritual journey. I'm going to go visit the ashram of my spiritual master. Within a split of a second, she said, okay, no problem, which normally does not happen. I work in a hospital environment, which normally does not happen. You have to request well in advance, and normally you get no more than 2 weeks. But Guruji obviously made it very possible. So yes, I went to the ashram, and I was at the ashram for about 6 days, and I'm telling you, during the 6 days, I felt like I was in heaven. All the experiences that I had, just the energy transformed from Guruji to us, and the energy that I felt in the ashram, I totally felt I was in heaven. And it's something that you have to experience. For me to sit here and tell the audience of ITV, or even share with people who are here in the studio with us, it doesn't do justice.
Yeah.
You have to go and experience it yourself.
So let me have a supplementary question for you. And you did your PhD, you have been a science student, you did your research. So that understanding which you derive as a researcher with scientific band of mind, and that understanding which now you are referring to, which probably is not following any scientific methodology, but you accept it. So, talk to me about these two minds in Ujwala.
So there's a difference. There's one that is science. Science is research, fact finding, and you find the results based on the research that you do. Versus spirituality, which is science of mind, body, and spirit. So you can actually combine the two, but science is experimenting outside of your body, whereas spirituality is experiencing within your body.
Within your body.
And those experiences, when you experience it, then you know you're on cloud 9, because what you don't experience in a scientific world, but what you experience in spirituality, that's, you know, this is the real you. The soul searching that you do within you through the avenue of spirituality is the real way of living life. And that, again, you have to experience it. You have to experience from within.
So you have to experience, she says, and some of you might have actually attended some of his programs, and you say, I didn't experience anything. So there is a way in which each one is uniquely qualified to reach to certain kind of experience. Chandraji, you also, as I mentioned earlier, did your PhD and you are a scientist. So the same question to you.
Oh, absolutely. And this is remarkable journey. I was, as you said, I was arrogant. When I was, and I'm a scientist, so I said, until you see something, you can prove something, it doesn't exist. So मैं सोचता था कि ये सब ढोंग है, साधु वगैरह कुछ नहीं होते हैं. Okay. Then by coincidence, one of my Jijaji, my brother-in-law, he gave me a book which is Living with Himalayan Masters by Swami Rama. So I was traveling from India to US, so in the flight I read that book. Now I said, this is Shankaracharya, and if he has written something, it has to be true. So it can't be. So I started feeling that, yeah, maybe there is something about this. Then by coincidence, I took another course where somebody was actually taking Eastern wisdom and putting some Western twist to teach business people and academicians about Indian wisdom and Eastern wisdom. And one of the books, required book, was Paul Brenton, it was written by, and then again he talked about how he met Raman Maharshi.
Yes.
So then I said, yes, there is something and you need a guru in your life. So see the coincidences. Now I'm here in US and I started feeling that I need a guru all of a sudden. And I had a friend who was going to India, and he lives in Ahmedabad, and he was going to Bijapur. And I said, why are you spending 1 month in Bijapur? So he says, I have guru there. So I said, yeah, I am looking for a guru also. So he said, Chandra, you don't find guru, guru finds you.
Yeah.
And first time guru there, because my sister Prabha, she had known him and very good devotee. So she brought Gurudev here. And the very first time we met, there was a connection. So there is something eternal which we just don't understand, but it just happens. So see my transformation, and I'm devoted. Now I believe in the things, and I believe our knowledge is so limited, so there is no such thing as miracle. This is facts of things, and I tell scientists that what do? You say experiment, right? So even if you don't believe, just come there and see if you can feel the same kind of energy that we have felt. That's the best way to experience it. So tremendous transformation in my life.
And Rakesh, we have heard that other side where out of his joy, or we say playfulness, and to bless, sometimes he manifests certain objects and that are given as prasad or gift, and something that he gave to wife of Maharashtra's chief minister, that also came in the newspapers, etc. So how that miraculous sort of manifestation is perceived by you?
That's a very interesting question, Ashokji. And number one, I would say that your program is not only well liked, because after I've been on this program in the past, when I go and meet people, they say, oh, we heard you on Ashokji's program. So thank you, and congratulations for being so popular. And when Ujwala ji was talking about her experiences, one of the Guruji's teaching is Parivar se Parmeshwar ki yatra. We are all worldly people, but how do we go from this to that? And when Chandra was talking about the book Living with Himalayan Master, and I'm going to connect to your question right now, I read Autobiography of a Yogi in 2011 and 2001, and it influenced me so much that I just couldn't get over that book. And in that book there are many miracles if you read the book.
Yes.
So there was once a program in Hindu Community Center where we are having our program on 23rd, and it was some sort of a religious program. So there was a lady singing bhajan on the stage, and I was on one corner of the auditorium, and Guruji was right in the middle. He was the chief guest, and Guruji went up to stage. I mean, he stood up, and he asked the lady to come over and gave her a mala, right? Now there is a gentleman standing right next to me. He says, "आपने देखा वो?" मैंने कहा देखा. तो बोले गुरुजी कहीं से भी कोई चीज निकाल के दे देते? मैंने कहा जी हाँ. And I learned in Autobiography of a Yogi that this is manifestation of energy. Okay. So he said to me that if Guruji keeps his head on my head, will I disappear? And I kept quiet, because you can argue with faith. If his faith is X, my faith is Y, we know we're going to have conflict. Ashokji, I get chills when I say that. A week later, I'm in Guruji's presence, and Guruji repeats that man's sentence exactly the same way. And you know what he says to me? He said, Bhargava ji, aapne uska jawab nahi diya. I was very proud of you.
So, Rakesh, you will be proud of me that I remained silent for a few seconds, because there is nothing one can say other than absorb such experiences. And very succinctly he brought us to the moment where you can only absorb. And when you go to Tirupati Vishwa Dharma Chetana Manch, as it is referred to, Ujwala ji, share a little bit of the details of the ambience as it is there. And I see, I believe there are some temples, and probably there might be a Gaushala, or there must be some charitable undertakings.
Yeah. So the year that I went, it was Navratri. So I was there for the last 5 days of Navratri. And again, I'm getting chills, just like Bhargava, she said, the things I'm going to say and the things that I experienced. So the temple was under construction, so there was no temple per se. So there's like a shed, and under the shed, there's a setup of all the gods and goddesses, because obviously it's Navratri, so Devi Mata and all that, and Navratri mein, the eyes are closed of the Devi Mata. And the very last day, ninth day of Navratri, obviously during the course of the time, there's discourses going on by Guruji, there's a lot of different activities, a lot of pujas that are done. Acharya ji, who's the main priest of the ashram, he conducts lots of different pujas, and you get an opportunity to sit in different pujas. But on the 9th day of Navratri, Guruji with his mantras, audience is obviously watching, he's on the stage doing his mantras, and automatically, jo Devi Mata ki aankhe pe jo patti hoti hai, that patti opens up. And Guruji says, just look into the eyes of Mataji, and everybody looks in the eyes. And the energy that you feel, I can't describe it, I just cannot describe it. You feel like you're within, Goddess has taken you within. She's basically hugged you, she's embraced you. You're part of that world there. And again, like I said, it's even hard to put it in words, what you feel. But you feel like you're in heaven.
So she said, you feel like you're in heaven, and you don't want to go to heaven, but you want to experience heaven right here. So how that experience may unfold for you on 23rd June and 24th June right here in New York. Let me ask Chandra ji, and we have shown details again and again. There is one website where they can register. Tell our viewers about that.
Yeah. Basically, easiest thing is that you go to gurujiusavisit.com. This time we are doing programs in 3 different places, because we used to do one program and there will be awful lot of people, and Gurudev will not get opportunity to give everybody blessings in the way we wanted. So given the number of people that attend these programs, we are doing programs in 3 different areas. One is in New Jersey, which is at Hindu Community Center in Kearney, and which is on June 25th. Then there is a program in Ganesh Temple Auditorium, which is called Community Center. Most people are aware of that. And that program is on June 23rd between 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And there's another program in Whitley School, which is in Old Westbury, June 24th at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. And in these programs, we are keeping them kind of small, no more than 500-700 people. And Gurudev is going to give blessings to everybody who is present there in this thing. So we believe that you will get the opportunity to have a very blessing in a very nice way, that you will really be able to absorb his energy.
Talk to us a little bit about the logistics, Rakesh. Some people feel that I may just show up and I don't register. Will that cause some problem?
First of all, those people who have registered will get an email from us, and when they come to the actual place of the event, we will take their number and then give them a sort of like a token or a ticket that will have a seat number on it. So they will be assigned seating in both the places, in the Hindu Community Center in Flushing as well as in Whitley Auditorium. And by the first come first serve, they'll get a seat, and as the time comes for Guruji to bless each one individually, we'll call row by row. So this way there is no disharmony. Remember, we did this at Colden Center. There were more than 2,000 people, and it worked very well. So we are very confident that with 700 to 800 people, like Bhaisab said, we will be able to manage it very well.
So there is so much that we can learn from each other, and that process continues, especially with more vigor, with more enthusiasm and positive approach towards life when we come into contact with those who have understood or who have explored the depth of creation in a way which has not happened for many of us. And that opportunity on 23 and 24th June here in New York, and 25th June in New Jersey. For more information, the website again I would say is being displayed. That is
GurujiUSAVisit.com.
GurujiUSAVisit.com. Sounds very interesting. Thanking Ujwala ji for being with us. Chandra ji, thanks for
Thank
coming.
you very much.
Thank you.
Really
Such a
Thank you very
pleasure.
much. We
Ashok ji,
appreciate
thank
it.
you, and thank your audience for
Yeah.
giving us this time. Appreciate it.
With lots of good wishes and prayers for peace and harmony in the world. This is Ashok Vyas.